There's a difference between sight and vision. I'm gonna say it again. There's a difference between sight and vision. And this is why it is so important who you choose to do life with, who you choose to surround yourself around, because there's a difference. You see, sight is something that you see. Like you wake up in the morning, get out the bed, you're seeing things. You're seeing the ground, you're seeing things. But vision is totally different. Vision is what you see when your eyes are closed. Vision is what God oftentimes sends you. And when you understand the vision, you understand your purpose. Vision shows you the end result. It doesn't alleviate you from going through some mess in order to get to the vision, but what the vision provides you for is the end result. And a lot of times people do life strictly measured by sight. What you see dictates what you do. And this is why a lot of times relationships don't work. And I say this, I'm not a relationship expert. I'm not none of that. But a lot of relationships don't work because these two things are convoluted. You see, in a relationship, and it's not just a romantic relationship, it's a friend relationship too. You go into it, let's just talk about a romantic one. You go into it and you say, I want to be with this person forever, through the good, through the bad. We know all of the rigmarole. We know all of the things that we say that sound good. We know all of the things that we say because it's been passed down. We know, if you're married, the vows that you take, before God. We understand all of this. The problem is you go into that situation having sight. And when you have sight, the first time problems arise, you see things for what they look like in that moment. See, everything else goes out the window because of what you see right then. And the problem is, especially in long-term relationships, when you only have sight, things become mundane. You begin to do things based solely upon what you see in that moment. And it becomes a way of life. There's certain relationships that has lost the intimacy, and it's simply because it's just how things are. Like you blame everything. I'm just not feeling well. Oh, I don't like the way I look. I got so much stress because you're seeing with. But when you go into a situation and you rely on a vision, God shows you that the end result is going to be a wonderful relationship, a wonderful partnership. But just because God gives you the vision doesn't mean that you don't have to do your part. You see, the vision is sort of like a contract. God provides the vision. Here's the contract. In order for that vision to come true, you have to do X, Y, and Z. And the thing is, and why that is so important, because that contract says that you have to do X, Y, and Z, or the vision is nullified. But here's the thing. That contract lets you know that things are going to be hard. But if you follow all of this, you will obtain the vision. And this is why it's important, because when you're going through some mess, this is why certain people can go through some stuff and they really don't look like what they went through, because they understand that God has given them the vision. So if he's given me the vision, this mess that I'm going through is only obstacles. But if I follow the course, I'm going to get to the vision. And that's why we have so many divorces. See, before you actually divorce, you have already divorced in your mind because you are relying on your sight. So you begin to say things, man, this don't feel the same no more. Man, this, that, and the other, because you are thinking from a sight. See, in the Bible, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I know that in one of the chapters, I can't tell you what, but I know that when Jesus was walking through the crowd, there was a blind man. And the blind man was just trying to get to Jesus because he knew that if he get into to God's presence, he will be healed. And he just wanted to touch the hem of his garment because he knew that he would be healed. And everybody around was trying to keep him from touching Jesus. See, those people were sight people, but he was a vision person. And what happened was when he touched, Jesus looked at it and he turned around and that man was healed. Now think about all the people that was trying to stop him from getting to Jesus because they can only see with their eyes. They had no vision. We watched this weekend the show of The Polygamist, a South African show. And one of the things that, me being a creative person, I love the backstory of things. So as we're watching this, it's like pretty much it's number one in South Africa. I think it's number 3 in the States as far as Netflix shows. And everybody's so gung-ho about it. And then reading an article, the creator had wrote a book 13 years ago, had vision. She had vision. So it took 13 years for that vision to align with opportunity. But think if she only thought with her sight. At the 5-year mark, she probably threw the towel in. And how many people right now have thrown the towel into something because they had their sight and not the vision? See, myself, I've been at this for a long time, but God gave me a vision. And the problem is when you have vision surrounded by sight people, you look crazy. When you tell people, hey, listen, I'm going to have a #1 movie series, whatever the case may be, they're going to look at you crazy because they're sight people. But all you need to do is get around the right people that has vision, and they're going to push you forward. So that's the message of this video today. If you have gotten up this morning anticipating a bad day, anticipating, oh my gosh, I hate Mondays, you are a sight person. But if you are a vision person, you wake up in the morning seizing the opportunities. A lot of times, you've said a prayer that you want that new job, and oh my gosh, and this, that, and other. Then you get on a new job, and a year in, you are complaining about that new job because you are a sight person. Because that same, vigor that you had to get the job, you have lost because now you're on the job and you are in the circles of the gossip. You are in the circle of this person disgruntled, so now it makes you disgruntled. You are not a visionary person. You see, if you're a visionary person, you thank God every day for the job that you asked for, because you know this is not an end all. This is just a stepping stone. And like I said, that contract lets you know that there's going to be some mess, but if you migrate through the mess, you will receive the vision. So what type of person are you? Are you a sight or are you a visionary person? And don't let, because you are a visionary person, somebody that can only see with their sight, let you think you're crazy. See, I have a vision for my family. My thing, though, is I can't make everybody see the vision. The only thing that I can do is walk in the vision. And the ones that choose to see with a vision, they're gonna fall right in line. But the ones that can only see with the sight, they're going to fall by the wayside. And a lot of times I find myself in situations because I am a visionary type of person. I see things in people that they don't see first. And that's why I've had my heart broken so many times, because I see something in you that you don't see and you might not ever see. So I spend so much time that I can't get back because of my visionary thinking, seeing something in you that you are just not willing to see. I see that you're a good person, but that's not how you envision yourself. I see what you could be, but that's not how you envision yourself. So now I had to dust that off and understand that in order for me to get to where I'm going, I got to stay the course. And staying the course, sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes you feel less than, but that's just all part of the contract. The contract says I'm going to go through some mess, but if I navigate that mess, I'm going to get to the vision. So remember that as you go throughout the day. Do you see with sight or do you see with vision?